Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows. Let the world hear your voice and be filled within. Over to you, Amanda. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
My name is Amanda Cottrell. I'm coming to you from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'm the founder of Art, Mindfulness, and Creativity, where I help people find their own unique creative gifts. And I'm also an author and illustrator of children's books and a teacher. Carol Ann. Over to you, Carol Ann.
I needed to mute myself. Good afternoon from London, UK. And as the writing facilitator, what I do is I support soul-driven entrepreneurs in becoming more productive with their writing by connecting them with their deeper innate ability to write. But more importantly, they experience free-flowing writing. They experience an unlocking of the writer within and getting their book written, getting their story written, because you cannot publish what isn't written. And all of this has come about through my own journey of unlocking the writer within. So I'm Carol Ann, the writing facilitator, helping you unlock the writer within. I'm looking very much to this conversation today, Nomsa.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me properly?
That's better.
Okay. So our topic today is how to become a manifesting master. so I'm actually excited about this topic because sometimes to go for what you want, you're gonna have to basically believe in what you want and you have to become it. So if you want something, you have to act as if you are that something that you want and you've got it. So I'm interested to hear what Carol Ann and Amanda say about this topic. Over to you, Carol Ann, please.
Yes, you do need to believe in it.
Carol Ann, can you
Sorry?
hand it over? When you finish, you hand it over to Amanda. I need to pick something.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, definitely need to believe in what you want and go for it. To become a master manifester, it requires dedication, focus, and effort. It's not just something that you do now and again, but you need to consistently keep going at it and really focusing on what is it that you want. Get into a positive state about it, acting as if it's already happened. In other words, you get that feeling as if it's already here. So you hold on to that feeling. You generate that feeling. You say to yourself, well, what would I be feeling if I received or manifested what it is I want? How would I be feeling? And really get in touch with that feeling, because that's what will help propel you through. And it's just keeping focus on that and being clear on it as well. So what are your thoughts, Amanda?
Well, I've done a lot of reading on manifestation. I've read all of the secret books, that series, and then also a lot of reading on wanting to manifest things into your life. And I think that sometimes things definitely you can manifest them into your life. Like if you want it with every single ounce of your being, you have to trust that you're going to get it. And that's something that happened to me when I got divorced. All I wanted out of the divorce was enough money to pay off my car and put a down payment on a house. And I was like, that's all I wanted through the whole entire divorce process. I didn't care about anything else. I was like, I just want enough money to pay off my car and put a down payment on my house so that my daughter and I could live in a house and and get my house built too, because I wanted to buy I wanted to build. I didn't want something that somebody else had already lived in, because where I live in Auburn Bay in Calgary, there was lots of building going on, and I wanted to be in this specific community. And because that's where we had lived before, my daughter loved it, and all of her friends were here. And at the end of like the divorce settlement, I basically had like to the penny enough money to pay off my car and to put the down payment on my house. So like through the whole negotiating everything through the divorce, it was just like with the equity from our old house, that's what I wanted, was just enough money to pay off the car and put that down payment on my house. And that's all I wanted. And I could just like envision myself in the house and envision my car being paid off. And it worked. Like I was like had just enough money to do that exactly. And I was really lucky that at the time I was living at my aunt and uncle's while my house was being built and while we were in the messy part of the divorce. And I ended up, while I was living there, saving enough money to like buy furniture for the house. So it was like everything just came together, and I found things like, because I was shopping for the specific things for my house throughout the 8 months that it was being built, I like bought my table on sale, I bought my bed on sale, and then I had all of it like added up, and the place where you could buy you could get it delivered on the day that you moved in, because I was buying it, but it was like months and months ahead of time. So I was like, okay, I bought this, they have it in storage for me, and then I just found all of the pieces that I needed to make our house a home, like throughout those 8 months. And it was just like that's the most real manifestation that I've ever been through. There are things that I'm like, okay, I want to work on too, but I feel like I'm not so completely focused on them that maybe that's blocking my manifestation right now. Because sometimes I feel like, yes, I can manifest whatever I want, and then other times I get stuck in this rut and I struggle to like believe with every ounce of my being that I can achieve that. And so like one of the things that I want to achieve is becoming a best-selling author for children's authors, but I maybe am not believing it all in my whole being, and maybe that's part of what it is, and I just need to learn how to get off of that self-doubt train. What about you, Nomza?
All honest manifestation. I had to go and get my notes. Basically, for me, when it comes to manifesting, I like it, Amanda, when you talk about, when you were going through marriage and you had to basically manifest to pay off your bills, to do this, to do the things that you wanted to do, which is really good. For me, manifestation is actually the same like you do, but I do it in prayer. I basically I basically have to be in that place. I have to get into that character where I say, God, you know what I've been through, and I write down everything that I want. I think I want, and I say based on what I've been through, God, and based on my life story, please, could you please help me to achieve my goals? This is my goals that I've written. But anything that you feel that is not going to take me to where I need to go, I need you to remove it if it's going to cause problems in my life. But I need to achieve. I need to achieve this. This is where I need to go. And then I have to go to a place where once I say about it once, sometimes I write it down, sometimes I don't write it down. It's in my heart because I know it's in my heart. This is what I want. This is the journey that I need to go. I can't talk about it. Once I'm done, I can't talk about it to my family. I can't talk about it to my family. It's between me and God. I can only talk about it if, let's say, there is people that are meant to help me in that process. So I do like it right now where I said, guys, it's coronavirus. Instead of us struggling financially because we are used to the lifestyle that we are used to, instead of keep struggling and getting stressed for no reason, we need to downgrade. And everyone is like, they're still mourning about it. So they agreed, but they're still mourning about it. So I was like, God, this is my situation. So I just sent the paperwork. I need this house. I need this house. This is what I need. And I got a phone call today. So I'm going to, basically, we're going to save loads of money. If it goes through, we're gonna save loads of money, and I'm gonna be able to do the things that I want to do while the economy is rising up. I don't know, but I'm not done yet with God. I'm not done yet. I say, God, if this is where I need to go, if there's another opportunity, please, I'm not done manifesting yet. There's an opportunity the door that has been opened, but I'm still going. I'm saying I'm not done. So that's how I manifest. So I manifest in a way that I get two things at the same time, options at the same time, where I have to say, thank you, God. And then I pick whatever the option that is suitable for me. But I have to be in a place where when everyone is mourning, really, really mourning, or when my man is mourning about something, I have to be in a place where I just say, when it comes to me, my face, and he's complaining, he's mourning, how are we going to do this? I have to say, just trust. I can't talk about it, just trust. So that's how I manifest. Sometimes I get the results, but sometimes, but when I did manifest it for a long time, like I went on for 70 days, I was fasting for 70 days, and I finished a week ago. And today, this week as well, I'm just keep doing other things as well. That's how I do things. It's not easy though. You have to stay grounded. It's not easy.
It certainly isn't easy, and sometimes it can take a lot longer than you think it's going to take.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first got married and I trained as a teacher, and I didn't actually get a teaching post to start with. I got a few other jobs, but then all I kept thinking about and visioning was me teaching. And after quite a few years, it actually came about, and I did get a teaching post. But it took a lot of just being with that, a lot of disappointment, a lot of just going, oh, is it ever going to happen? But just I kept focusing on it. That's where I wanted to be. And then just doing what opportunities showed up. And it did happen. And what's interesting is the fact that I used to do that before I knew anything about the law of attraction or doing any of this work. And even when my husband and I, the house that we bought, when we first bought it, I could see an extension being built on the side. I could see the possibility was there. We didn't have the money. We barely had the money to buy the house in the first place. But I always kept thinking about this, what an extension would look like. I kept planning it in my head. And I would open the doors on the landing to the airing cupboard, and I would picture walking through what would then be an open space into a bedroom in the extension. And literally, I'd open the doors and picture this as I say, tiny corridor going into a bedroom. And as I was traveling around, I'd be looking at other properties and going, oh, no, I don't like that extension, or I like that bit, or and I'd be planning it in my head. And even when we had some disappointment in terms of being able to get a mortgage on the property, it looked like we couldn't to get an extension done. When I eventually got my teaching post and I was in a place where financially we could think about an extension, we then had that to deal with. But we found one building society that would give us a mortgage, because they recognised that the properties were sound, and they were giving mortgages on them, and we got the extension done. And even now I always marvel at the fact that I had this belief in me it would happen. There was no doubt in my mind this is what I wanted, and I would make it happen somehow. And it happened. So there's a part of me after all these years of now stepping out of teaching, doing all this self-discovery work, personal development work, training in other fields, setting up my business. I don't need to set up the business I'm in now. And it taking so long. I mean, this is now a long time, many years, and feel like I'm digging deeper and deeper into stuff that's holding me back. And at times there is this, and I love what you said, Amanda, but that self-doubt train. I love that concept. It's like, yes, it creeps in, and you find yourself on that train, and it's like, oh, come on, let's get off. And it takes every bit of effort and commitment to the vision that I have and being clear on it to keep going, knowing that it cannot not happen. That's what I keep saying. It cannot not happen. The universe will eventually go, okay, here you go. Tested you enough. Sometimes I do get to a point where I say, oh God, how much longer is this going to take? And then go, okay, pick yourself up and keep going. So it does take that. That's what I'd say about dedication and commitment and focus, and making sure you're aligned to what it is you want to do. It is tough. It's hard work, and there is rewards in it, because there are rewards along the way. And I think one of the important things is to acknowledge the steps that you do succeed in, because we can be so focused on, well, I haven't got this yet. If you look back and go, well, actually, what have I achieved? And actually realize the chain of events that have been put in place to take you along the journey to getting you where you actually want to be, and realizing that all of these things had to be in place before what you want to manifest can be manifested. So again, it's quite a complex thing, and there's quite a lot of different laws of what's it called? Working with the Law is a book. It's really good. Working with the Law by Raymond Hollowell, and he talks about all the different laws there are, like the law of thinking, the law of supply, the law of attraction, there's the law of receiving, the law of increase, the law of compensation, the law of non-resistance, the law of forgiveness, the law of sacrifice, the law of obedience, and then there's the law of success. So there's a whole host of laws there to be working with that help them bring everything together to work for you, rather than, as you may think, against you. But that's something I've had that tucked away, and I just brought it back out again and thought, oh, maybe I need to have a look at this. So that's something worth looking at, because the universe is working for you sometimes it seems like it's not. I don't know if that's how you find it, Amanda.
Well, I think sometimes when things like the pandemic come across, we start to really doubt that we're working in the best. Like, one of the things I had on my vision board was to like take my daughter on a trip to Disneyland in like 2020 and or on a hot vacation, and like clearly that did not happen. But we still were able to go and do like other things, and I think sometimes we have to trust that like some of those things, like going on a vacation, might not be something that you can manifest that specific year, but maybe that you can do it at a different time, or that you're just meant to learn something else in that time that you had hoped to do a specific thing or to have achieved a specific thing. But she's awake and a little sleepy today. But yeah, there's definitely times where things happen that I've struggled with the law of attraction, and really believing that it is that I can achieve the things that I want to achieve. But I also think that sometimes we need to trust that maybe if you really want something, like say like a specific relationship or something, and you need to trust that if one relationship doesn't work out, that there's something better and more positive for you, and you just have to be patient and wait for it. And I think patience is something that is hard to learn when you're trying to manifest specific things into your life, especially um, relationships or monetary things. But I know that sometimes they talk about when you're starting to try to manifest, like when you go into a parking lot and envision that you have like there's actually parking and good parking, and envision that you have that spot, especially when you go into a parking lot that's full, is to be like, okay, I can see a spot coming. And just to try to start manifesting little things like that, as a way to begin with the manifestation process. And I have tried that before, and it almost always works. That there's something that we get a really good parking spot. I'm just like, okay, there's going to be a good spot, and I'm going to see somebody pull out, and we're going to get a good spot nice and close. But that's when I started reading about manifestation. That's something that they said to start with, was just little things, and then you'll get to work yourself up to the bigger things. I know my daughter, she's just started a jewelry business, and she's like, we have a friend who's like an international jewelry designer, and she is like, Mom, I don't have any like sales from people that I don't know, like April does. And I'm like, yeah, but she started with just selling to her friends, and that's how her business grew. And I'm like, you need to just start, honey, and you need to keep doing it. You can't just like say, oh, I want to be a jewelry designer, and then like quit the next week. You have to keep going. It's the same with, I want to be a really good children's author. I can't just stop writing and stop illustrating. I need to keep going, even though I feel like I've been in a little bit of a rut lately. But that is it is my goal. And I think when you come up to a roadblock, sometimes it can be hard to get past that. And for me, one of my biggest roadblocks has been learning how to market, because I don't love that piece of the self-publishing process. I love the piece of creating, and yet I can create the most wonderful book, but unless somebody knows about it and other people know about it, then it's not ever going to get out there to people. And so I think the biggest struggle for indie authors is finding a way to get your book out to the world. And that's the process that I find the most frustrating, but also the part that I need to work on the most, and that I need to continue to focus on and to work on manifesting, and also to spend some time each day with those like positive I am statements, and with the positive like I can do this statements. And that's something that I've kind of pushed to the side too as other things become more of a focus for me. And I find for myself that when I get kind of lost in my path, I need to like purposely pull myself back. And that's something that I found with the pandemic is I kind of just was like, blah, there's nothing to do. I'm not focused, and I'm just gonna watch a bunch of Netflix. And sometimes too, I think you have to just be patient and let time come up, because there's things that come up where, like, before I could always write and illustrate as soon as my daughter went to bed, but now she's 10 and she like stays up later than I do. So I need to find a new time that works for me to keep working on my illustrating and keep working on my book marketing, and to like put myself in a course where I'm actually going to learn how to get there. You can't just sit in your room and manifest everything that you want. You actually have to go out into the world and keep working on it. And I think that's something that some manifesting books don't really show people, or don't really like focus on, is that yes, you can want this and say the I am statements like, I'm a best-selling author, I'm a best-selling author, I'm a best-selling author every single day for the rest of your life. But unless you go out into the world and you actually do things to work towards those goals, it's not going to happen. You have to also align yourself with those goals, because manifesting works when you believe with every ounce of you and you actually are doing the work to get to those goals as well. What do you think, Nomsa?
I agree with you. I'm gonna go with what Caroline was saying, that you have to, when you're manifesting, you will be faced with loads of disappointments. And what you're saying as well, Amanda, you have to be patient. And when I was, for me, I call it prayer. I just pray when I want God to do something new in my life. I basically pray, and like you guys call it manifesting. For me, I have to call it real. Like, this is between me and God, no universe, because God created the universe. I just have to say, God, this is what I'm going through, and this is my desire. And Carol Anna was talking about the challenges. Oh my God, when I made a decision that I need to like fast and pray for 70 days, it was like I was being hit by bricks every single day. Sometimes I get up in the morning and I look at my phone. Sometimes I laugh and I'm like, is that what life is about? And I just laugh. But when I, like today, when I'm just looking at things, because, it's like you are being hit by different things, by disappointment, but actually there are no disappointments. The doors, like Carol Anna was saying, like she has to go through and opening the doors, things are happening, but behind the scenes good things are happening. You don't know anything about it. It's just the bad energy wants you to believe that whatever you're doing is not working. So I was laughing and I was like, this is getting out of control, God, because whatever is going on. And, it's like I'm doing this and it's like I'm being hit by bricks. It's like a disappointment. My brother sent me a message and he had the coronavirus. For some reason, I missed the message. And I sent him a message a week later and I was like, are you okay? My auntie wasn't well. I sent him a message. I said, are you okay? Auntie's not well. And he was like, I'm not well, sis, too. And I was like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I've got the virus. I sent you a message. I was like, no, you didn't. He was like, yes, I did. So I'm looking at the message. I'm thinking, God, my brother would have died without me knowing. So it's like, you're being hit by this and this and this, and the doors, like behind the scenes, something good is happening. You could easily give up, like what Carol Anna was saying and Amanda was saying. You have to be patient, because that means when you are digging deep, basically with your life, you're manifesting. That means you are digging deep. You are asking for more, for everything to come to pass. And there's gonna be challenges that you're gonna face. So, like what Carolina was saying, that the universe is gonna test you. So God is gonna test you and say, how much do you want this? Are you really, really serious that you can handle this? So it's up to you to say, yes, I can handle the test. Yes, I can pull through this. And just to keep going and keep going. And Amanda, you talk about you have to keep working and getting out there. It's not about saying this is what I want and just sitting back and waiting for God to do whatever his miracle. God does miracle through people. So you have to put yourself out there with whatever you are doing. You put yourself out there and just wait for God or the universe to do his work while you are doing your work on earth as well. So that's I think that is the power of manifesting. What else did you, Amanda, say? You said sometimes we look at things that, was it Carol Ann that says sometimes we look at things and say, I haven't got this, I haven't got this? Was it Amanda? Say we look at things that we don't have.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, so we intend to do that. I don't do that anymore. I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. I just have to say I am grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. And if I hear my voice saying I don't have this, I tell you myself to shut up. Honestly, I tell myself to shut up. I say, Nomsa, shut up. My blood is speaking against me. Shut up out loud. I actually said this prayer a few days ago to my family, basically speaking against me, my prayers, like the negativity that I do myself, because sometimes you can block yourself, which is your own blood blocking your breakthrough. So it's basically like I tell myself to shut up, get on with it. Even if things are not working, I say, no, so shut up and get on with it. Or like in gossip talk shows, I just go in there and I see Kamal was saying mostly is Amanda, Carol Ann who get loads of views when they are on. I just stopped looking at the views. I just say, Gary, you know where these guys want to go. Please take them where they need to go. That's my prayer, that take them where they need to go. And I don't stop basically saying out loud. I will keep do. I don't do. I used to do this. I think I wrote it down once, but then I read. Jewish people, they're quite smart, but they are more underground. So I listened to this guy, and he goes. All these things that you go in front of the mirror and say, I am this, I'm this, and start doing those things. It says it doesn't work. You have to get real, basically, like manifesting. So he talks about praying and manifesting. Or it's like you have to get ready to reach your goals. Because if you go in front of the mirror and saying I am this, I'm this, and trying to speak to yourself, and it was like it doesn't work. But it works when you're saying negative things about yourself, and basically you have to tell yourself to shut up. So he was saying what works basically is biblical, and he said if you listen to every wealthy person, they'll tell you that they've learned about biblical principles. If you listen to, you're saying, go to a great speaker, they all talk about biblical principles. And he was saying it does work when you actually understand the principles. It's like Carol Army, you're bringing the law, the book, working with the law. Basically, it does work when you go and basically focus on this is the law, and become that law and try to follow those principles. It does work. So that's I believe that's what you have to do, and I believe with the Carol Ann and Amanda say you have to be patient. But patience is
It's a sure test, isn't it? It's a
no.
sure test of your faith and commitment. And I know that, yeah, it's these disappointments, it is looking at it as a test. It's a test of your commitment. It's like, how badly do you really want this? You know? And I think when you actually get what it is you want, I think you realize that actually that test of commitment needed to be in place, because then it's where you go from there, because that isn't the end. There's always something else to move forward onto. You know, like Amanda, you've written some books, you've done that hurdle, which is brilliant, and they're, you know, really successful. And I'm hearing that, you know, that children and people really benefit from them. And I love, you know, how you talk about them and say how they came about, and how, you know, they've benefited children and other people. And this goal to be a famous children's author, is that it? Yes. Really famous. That would be, you know, brilliant. Hold on to that. And what I say, when you come to those roadblocks, it's maybe exploring the roadblock. Look at the nature of it. You know, look at whereabouts in relation to you is it? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Does it have a message for you? You know, and explore all different sort of modalities about it. And, you know, maybe, well, what does it want to hear in order for it to be something else? Because is it actually a block? Or is it something that's come to teach you something, to help you move forward? Or maybe you need to take a different direction at that moment. Who knows? But rather than letting it stop you, explore it and feel like, you know, what does it feel like? And all of those sort of things, because that for me is how I work. I explore, well, what are these blocks? What are these tests? And
Well,
go on.
oh, I was going to say, I think that sometimes we look at things and we're like, oh, I tried it like 10 times and it didn't get me where I want to go, so people just quit. And that's when they stop believing in the law of manifestation and bringing things into your life. And that whenever we talk about this, I always think of, do you guys have Starbucks in London?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the owner of Starbucks had
Yeah.
242 rejections for like funding for it from the banks before somebody actually gave him a loan to start Starbucks. So when you look at manifesting and are working on believing in yourself, like that's 242 no's and rejections and put downs that the owner of Starbucks kept saying, no, I believe in myself. I've got this. I know that this is something that's going to work. And he just kept going and going and going until somebody finally gave him the funding to start his Starbucks. And now it's like, even children know Starbucks. Like, I'll come.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
right.
go very often, but I do like to go at work sometimes at lunchtime, and my students will be like, oh, where's my Starbucks? Can you buy me Starbucks? And then I always get Starbucks gift cards at the end of the year, but that's because it's my favorite. Because I don't drink coffee, I just drink chai lattes, and they have the best chai lattes. So I look at people like that who've had like so many rejections and yet still believed in themselves and still kept going, because they just knew with every ounce of themselves that like this was something that would work. And I think sometimes you try something and it doesn't work, but then eventually you meet the right people and things start to go, but you just have to keep going constantly and not have that self-doubt, and have your trust that the universe will provide for you when the time's right. And you have to just keep going and keep believing in yourself.
That's right. And there is that saying that every no, it takes you a step closer to the yes. So it's about, you know, welcoming all the no's, knowing that eventually there will be a yes. Yeah. And what Nomsa was saying about, there's a lot of biblical references in here and support. And this is what in the Science of Getting Rich, Bob Proctor cites a lot of biblical quotes. But actually in here, I know when I first read it, it talked about this thinking stuff that pervades everything and that supports you. And I'm going, what? And I just could not get my head around it. It used to really screw my brains to think about it. But now I realize it's just this energy that is there. And there is one thing that I love. There's a story in here about, or he talks about, if you want diamonds, you don't go and mine them for yourself. You go to the shop because they've already been mined. Someone else has done that work for you and brought them to the shop where you can then go and buy them. So there's already, this is it sets something in motion. So it is recognizing that there is something happening outside that you don't realize about. And sometimes that isn't quite ready for you. So that's where you have to wait. And then when it's ready, and also it's usually when you're ready, because before then you're not ready either. And it always comes when you are ready for it. So I often sit in, well, okay, if it's not here yet, then I'm not ready. What else do I need to clear so that I can say, yes, I am ready. And just be able to step into it. But there's what you were saying about the keep going and the, keep going. There was something I heard the other day that I wrote down, and I'm going to write a post about because I loved it. It's the story of the crow and the pitcher. As in a jug. It says the crow finds a pitcher of water one day, and it wants a drink. But the thing is, the neck of the jug is too long for him to reach down to the water. So he tries and he tries and he tries until he realizes he needs a new approach. So rather than trying to reach down, he gets pebbles and drops them into the pitcher and brings the water up to him. It's a fresh approach, isn't it? And I just thought, wow. So where have I been trying something and it's not working? I need a fresh approach. I've been trying to reach something. Maybe there's something I can put out there that will then ultimately bring what it is I want to me. And I just love that. It was really, exciting to hear that. And it was on a program, one of these, just these little programs that I listen to, a little murder mystery program that sometimes I think, oh, 1 minute is, but I often hear these little treasures that get me thinking, and so I welcome the guidance to sit and watch these programs sometimes, because you never know what you might hear. So yeah, where could you take a fresh approach at something, come at it from a different angle? Because there is that saying, isn't there? The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. It doesn't work. And I found that out the other week when I was attempting to do something on Canva, a program where you can create pictures. And we'd had some training the day before, and I thought, oh, let me have a go. And I was attempting what I thought was a way into what we were doing, and I just couldn't get what I wanted or what I'd seen. And I kept doing the same thing over and over and over. And you know what? Surprise, surprise, I kept getting the same result. And in the end, I just said, do you know what? I can't do this. Went and had something to eat. Came back and had a look at it again and went, okay, let's have another go. I clicked on some different buttons and came in a different way. And I found what I was looking for. And I got to what I wanted to get done. So, It's amazing, isn't it? How just change your thoughts. And again, it's back to that mindset. And it's being willing to let go of something, thinking, I've got to do it this way, I've got to do it this way. Let go. And go, well, this is what I want. So like the crow, he wanted to drink the water. What he was doing wasn't working. Try something else, a different approach. So again, that's something to think about. Where have you been attempting to do something that hasn't got you what you want? What different approach could you, give it?
I like the different approach, Carol Ann, and I like the story of the Starbucks owners that didn't give up. And I like the different approach because I look at my company. When I was busy manifesting, that's why I'm saying when you're doing something, you get hit by this and get hit by this. So I got an email. I think I got a few emails about the award that I won, the global award, because my company covers global. And I won the UK award as well in the area, Oxfordshire award for the company. So I look at it, I was like, okay, I'm winning this award. My company brand looks good, everything is good, but I have not reached the goal financially where I need to go. So that's when I had to get a different approach, like what Carol Ann was saying. I had to go to business skills assessment. Oh my God, it took me more than 2 weeks. The assessment for the business, paperwork, I was like, seriously, I'm spending time filling the forms. This is annoying. And then spending time in video chat, asking questions. But it's annoying, but it can be dreading. If I knew what I was gonna go through, maybe I would have hesitated. But I just went, I was like, I need business skills assessment so I can take my company to the next level and do a different approach. So I can bring people in. So we are busy with this company sending me to different department. I finished with this one. They're doing the work assessment with my assessment as a CEO, my strength and my weaknesses, and then the company's weaknesses and whatever, the improvement, the policies, the what, do I understand about this? Oh my God, I was like, it's hard work, but it had to be done because I need a different approach to take my company to the next level. So I had to do it. And we kept doing, and now it's finished. I've sent it all off and I'm waiting for the outcome basically to say, this is what needs to be done. This is how we're going to help you. And I put my budget as well. And my findings as I've been researching, I've got Desmond O'Connor as my business coach, but he's not going to go anywhere. But I'm reading that Jewish people are quite smart. So I think I need to bring in a Jewish somebody that can teach me, because Jewish are good. They're biblical. They do things in a biblical way. So they're all about money, how you can make the money. So if I have Desmond O'Connor, because Desmond O'Connor brings everything with the company umbrella, but then if I have a coach that can actually teach me basically money, how to manifest it and make money without being stressed, because when you are making the company, when you are basically developing your company growth, you have to know the numbers. You have to know the numbers, that not just like this is what you have to act on it. You have to have a good marketing person as well. So those are the things that I'm praying. I'm not gonna say manifesting. I'm praying for me to actually to take my company to the next level. But there's too much stress that is going for it. But this is what I've signed for, and this is what I said. I'm accepting it to do it. I want to go through this. I want to go through the stress because working for somebody is nice, but it's nice when you're working for yourself, when you have to, and you learn a lot about yourself as well when you're working for yourself. So that is the journey that I'm going through at the moment. I'm going through the house, moving house, and I'm going through the praying, manifesting. But I'm actually saying to myself, I'm not gonna stress with things anymore. And I was talking to the estate agents the other day, and she was going AWA, and I was like, "Is it okay if we just sort things calm?" And she replied to me and say, "I agree with you, Nomsa." Because I don't do when I'm going through stress and trying to figure myself out and trying to pray and manifest. I don't do well with listening to people arguing. So I said to her, can we just do this? Even if things don't go our way how we want it, we just have to keep going and see, just find a way between us. And she was like, I agree with you. We have to find a way. I was like, now we are on the same page. So that's fine. But as Caroline said, it's not easy. You have to be willing to let go of something, like what you said, Carol Ann. And when the roadblocks comes, you said you need to be prepared to approach the situation in a different angle, which is that is the way. Basically, instead of saying, before I would just keep saying, "Oh, why me? Why does God do this? Why do I have to go through this?" And now when I hear myself saying those words, I tell myself, "Nomsa, shut up and get on with it," or go and find the ice cream in the freezer, or just go for a walk or something. Because we're normal. Sometimes we get disappointed with things. So and then that's how I basically do things. If there's something that I'm willing, I have to basically let it go to get something, let it be. But with no doesn't stop me going forward with my life. If somebody says no now, I'll just have to keep going and keep going and keep going. And until I get yes. And these people like the Starbucks, McDonald's, people that have gone through it, when you read about them, I think it motivates you. Like you say, it makes you feel that this is normal when somebody says no, and then you keep going.
Yeah. And it's also about bringing in playfulness. You know, you talk about stress and there's that worry. It is letting go of that worry and concern, knowing that actually the universe is taking care of it for you. God is taking care of it for you. And bring in a childlike quality. Play with it. Have fun with it. And be happy. And also, as you say, grateful. Gratitude is really important. Be grateful for what is given to you. Because sometimes you may think, oh, that's not what I wanted. But actually, it's what you need in that moment. And it's recognizing that and going, okay, I get it. Thank you. And be grateful for that. And, you know, if it's, you feel like life isn't going your way or things aren't going your way. So like yesterday, again, going back to, I think we had a conversation about this a while ago about being able to, you know, lose, and about how to be a loser, you know, gracefully, and how to use that to then pick yourself up and move on. I was playing drafts, or I think you know it as checkers, Amanda, and with my grandson. He asked to play the game, and I went, okay. And we got so far through it, and he was then losing, you know, but he kept going, and then he could see that actually he didn't, there was no way he could win. I said, would you want to go to the bitter end? He went, yeah. So I said, okay. So we kept going till we reached a point where it was like he hadn't, and he literally then went. He lost it. And the poor loser came out, and it was like, no, I hate this game, you know. And I said, but what you need to realize is this is the first time that you got 4 kings, and it's the first time that I haven't had to say to you, you can't do that, you can't make that move. You know, he was picking up the rules of the game much more quickly and applying them and asking me questions in a way that enabled him to then play. And I said to him, you haven't played like this before. So you need to acknowledge that and then say, right, so what do I now need to do in order to win? Knowing that I'm not gonna make it easy for you. I don't believe in, letting you win. That's not how I was brought up. We were never given to, we had to find a way to win, to really learn the game. And I don't believe in making it easy or going, oh no, I'll be kind to you. I don't think that really serves a purpose. And so yeah, I said to him, yeah, I'm not gonna make it easy for you. I'm not gonna just let you win. And he sulked for a bit, and then a bit later on, we got talking, and he did eventually acknowledge what I was saying. He could hear me, and we did a high five and went, okay, well done, because that was a massive achievement in what he had done. So it is recognizing the steps and the achievements you've got, even though you may not have got what it is you want, you're a step further towards it. Pick yourself up, go, okay, how can I now apply this until I do get what it is I want? So yeah, just be grateful, be mindful, and be happy and playful. Sorry, yeah, go on.
I think so much of it is, like you were saying about the checkers game, is learning along the way. And when you get into a situation, asking yourself, what can I learn from this situation? And then take your learning and then take it to the next steps. Because clearly the Starbucks owner learned something in those 242 no's to get him to the place where he did get a yes. And having those and the courage to keep going. Right? The courage to keep going is so important. And if you just stop, then you're never going to achieve the goals that you want to achieve and manifest them into your life. But I definitely think that patience is something that we all need to learn when we're trying to manifest what we would love in our lives.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We are nearly the end. Any words of encouragement, Carol Ann, please?
Yes, I think the main things are know what you want, know why you want it, know who would benefit from it, because it's not all just about you, but know who would benefit from it. How would you benefit from it, and how would others benefit from it? There's two things there. And then just to assume that feeling of having already fulfilled it and already got it. Really feel it. Act as if. Be grateful for what does show up. Be present. Be mindful. Let go of doubt. Get off that train of doubt. I love that idea. Get off. Say, right, I'm off. And meditate to manifest. Meditate, but also be willing to accept what comes. Be willing to receive. Because sometimes we don't know how to receive when it comes. So recognize that as well. And what was it, Sunday night, I was listening to a session, something called Art Alchemy. I was watching, actually. It's some art that really sort of helps you to go dive deep and bring out what it is that's in your way and to help you to manifest. And it's done over the sort of for the moon cycle, and it was done on the new moon. And this one particular piece was called the Nourisher. And I found myself thinking, oh, how can I enable people to pay me? And I felt all the ways that I could receive money and accept money for people paying for my courses. And I suddenly thought, oh, why am I thinking about this? And I realized that it's called a fembot. Actually, the piece of art that I was looking at was the Nourisher. And I got, oh my goodness, I need to nourish myself. I need to allow people to pay me for my programs and to work with me. I've been stopping it. So it is allowing yourself to receive it. So recognize that maybe that could be in place, that and willingness to receive. And just have fun with it. As I always say, have fun, be playful, and enjoy the journey. Amanda,
Amanda?
you got anything?
I like what you were saying about enjoying the journey and to, when you come across blocks, to just like allow yourself to learn from them and just trust that what you want and what you need is coming, and it may not be exactly the way you envisioned it, but what you're meant to learn will help guide you, but also just keep going, don't stop.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amanda and Carol Ann. I agree with you. For me, I leave you with this. Basically, if you really want to get the results that you want, you have to believe that God or the universe has chosen you to bless you, to serve the world, because whatever you are manifesting basically is for yourself, so that how you show up in the world can see you for who you are as a person. And you have to know that God or the universe doesn't give you what you deserve as a person. He gives you what you are. So whatever you ask, make sure you are that, and believe it. Believe in the joy of celebration, and basically in the rules like Carol Army has the law, and believe in that. So let me go see who is that. Over to you, Carol Ann. Take over, please.
You never know when the bell's going to ring because there's something for you to receive. So you need to be willing to then just go and get what's there being delivered to you. And so do be open and receptive and ready to answer that door when the doorbell rings, because that could be the universe or God delivering just what it is you want.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for today. We are here Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. at Ngozi Talk Shows, and we'll see you tomorrow. If you're watching this later, please press some heart button and share some love with your friends and family. And God bless you. Live with grace. Thank you so